Tech-savvy farmers and vendors meet up for one of the best precision ag conferences out there, NTV. NTV's Sydney Edwards has more.
A few speakers have shown some promising results in technology that you as a farmer might be interested in. Ultimately, this conference is about finding more ways to work efficiently and possibly even save an extra buck. Mike Manning, the precision program lead for the Aurora Co-op and Anita board member, says many growers are anxious about using their field data.
I think the biggest question still being answered by growers is how do they start putting their data to work for them? What should they be measuring? What are they measuring? And how do they implement it on how does it fit their system and how do they put it to work for them?
Kyle Owen of EFC Systems says one data management software to keep in mind is their precision ag system.
Any field most typically is showing a 3 to 15% unprofitable area. And so we use our system to either use yield data or imagery to define those areas. And by finding those, we can then look at it and say, all right, can we do this practice and be profitable?
Owen says this software will define where land improvements are needed by taking yield data or imagery from the machinery.
It helps evangelize the variable rate seeding, variable rate fertilizer, showing where we can cut costs in those low yielding areas. Instead of keeping that flat rate expense, we're variable rating that to get a better return on investment for that field.
Owen explains a scenario where they couldn't find a way to be profitable in one portion of a field, and they ended up taking that part of the field out of production.
Which every farmer doesn't want to do, but by doing that, we then increase profitability across the field by $20, and we actually enrolled it in the USDA program for pollinators, and they got the payment from the pollinators.
With farmers looking for more efficient ways to grow, the University of Nebraska at Lincoln partnered with many around the state of Nebraska for their on-farm research network to trial and error new practices. The results of that research will be discussed this February, and you can find the dates and times on our NTV News mobile app.
Sydney caught up with one of the board members of NTV to talk about the Internet of Things and what that means on the farm.
I'm here with Nick Emanuel. He is the CEO of Crop Metrics. Nick, can you tell me a little bit about some cutting-edge technology or something we're seeing?
Yeah, one of the big things at today's conference was the Internet of Things, or IoT is the buzzword in ag technology, and we had some big companies like Amazon and Microsoft present on the IoT and where it's going and where it's heading, really focused on multiple sensors out in the field, or several sensors based on, or dealing with machinery to irrigation to anything you can possibly measure, and then get that information back to the cloud and into the grower's hands more readily and easily to use.
So would that be the difference here, that it's going into the cloud?
It's one of the big key drivers. The other is the sensor technology in general, and the connectivity behind it makes it more affordable and simple for the farmers to use.
And what kind of productivity are we seeing here in change?
The big change is using irrigation, for example, which our company deals with, is moving from one sensor in the field to several sensors in the field. And that's really driven by that back-end connectivity like companies like Amazon and Microsoft can help provide us.
Perfect. I guess what kind of responses have you gotten from the public, maybe people who have attended the conference today?
Yeah, IoT in general is a hot buzzword, not only in ag technology, but across all industries. So I think a lot of people were interested in learning more about that and how they can implement it on their own farm.
Now, is there anything that maybe a farmer or someone who hasn't been able to attend the conference should know?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is understanding what they're looking for in their own farm and operation, and understanding what they're trying to do with technology, and then checking with their local service providers to see where that fits at and where they can most benefit from in their own operation.
Perfect. Thank you, Nick, so much.
When it comes to precision agriculture, are you all in? Our new poll question: when it comes to agricultural technologies of all kinds, what's your view? Are you an early adopter, or maybe you wait and invest in proven technology, or are you a little more old school? Follow us on Twitter to cast your votes. Hemp is making a comeback, but will Nebraska jump on the bandwagon? It began as long as 30,000 years ago when humans discovered hemp. They used it for fiber, seeds, and the oil it produced. Utilizing hemp became everyday practice.
About 10,000 years ago then, as people started domesticating rice, it turns out that as groups started to settle down, Hemp very quickly moved into those settled areas.
UNK economics professor Alan Jenkins says hemp is a rapid colonizer and loves disturbed fertile soil. Jenkins believes a 1937 law is one of the most profound events in the development of hemp.
The Marijuana Tax Act makes no distinction between the two different strains, so all cannabis is treated exactly the same.
The University of Nebraska is now doing hemp research on campus in Lincoln. We've got more on the topic on our website, nebraska.tv. Still to come, farmers innovate new solutions to protect the water. Weather is up next.